Are you sitting around right now wondering if your ex is already out with someone new? And if you'll ever meet someone who gets you the way he or she did? Are you dreading the thought of meeting someone else and having to go through the whole getting to know you phase again? I know the feeling. Breaking up with someone you still love can be one of the most emotionally devastating events most of us will ever face. Because you've got all these emotions going at once. You know, the guilt of what I did, regret over what I should have done, and then all of the confusion. How do I fix it? It can make you feel like you're going crazy. And when you go through it, you really have no idea how to fix the relationship. But here's the surprising truth about a breakup. And you don't know this when you're going through it because you're so emotional. If you know what to do to handle it, this is the event that can bring you closer than you've ever been. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. My name is Michael Griswold, and if you pay attention to this video, you're going to discover the 3 simple steps you have to take so that you can first get your ex to stop with the game of ignoring your calls and texts. Next, get some straight answers on what really happened in your relationship so that you can know how to fix it. And then finally, know what you can do to transform your ex's anger, resentment, and bitterness, all of those negative emotions, into excitement, fun, and passion again, just like you were at first. Basically, I'm going to show you how to make yourself irresistible again. But first, we have to clear up a common mistake. You see, you don't just want to get your ex back, and here's why. Usually getting him or her back means chasing after them, changing for them, begging them, doing anything you can to make it work. But this always makes you look needy, and it never works. Because when you act like this, you always feel like you're walking on eggshells. You're like one argument away from breaking up again, and it makes you nervous, and it's not a great relationship. Instead, you want your ex to want you again. To feel like you are as important to him as he is to you. To feel like she wants you as much as you want her. To do that, you've got to know how to do more than just get your ex back. You've got to know how to turn the tables. And by using a couple psychological tricks that hack into your ex's emotions and fill them with the same feelings of love and desire that you feel right now. And by the way, I don't mean anything sketchy by psychological tricks. I just mean that I'm going to reveal to you the 3 steps to recreating a great relationship. And that way, instead of having to wait, you can know how to use them as a shortcut so that you can be back with the person that you love sooner rather than later. I'm going to show you how to be the one in control so that your ex is willing to do whatever it takes to work things out with you. And this all has to do with the way that you position yourself. I'll even show you how to make your ex feel the same surge of emotion that you feel right now. That stab, you know, when you see a car that's the same color as theirs, or you hear the song that reminds you of them, or you see someone who might look like them. You know that stab of desire? I'm going to show you how to make them feel that same way. So by using these 3 simple steps I'm going to share with you, you'll discover how to first give your ex a case of argument amnesia, to make him or her forget all the mistakes that you made, especially the ones that are keeping you up at night. How to instead fill him or her with excitement and anticipation about seeing you again, and make yourself so irresistible that you don't ever have to worry about getting hurt like this again. You see, I made this video to help you because not so long ago, I was in your shoes. My girlfriend told me she just couldn't do this anymore. And as her words sank into my head, I felt this stab in my gut. The regret we talked about, the sadness, and then something else. Tell me if you can relate to this. I felt fear. I was afraid that I had blown it, that I wouldn't get another chance to have a relationship like this. I was afraid that she would find someone that she loved more, and that would make me feel bad about myself. I was afraid that all the time we spent together making memories and the plans for the future went up in smoke. It was all for nothing. And then the biggest fear I had was that I wasn't good enough, that there was something wrong with me that kept me from being able to have great relationships. The toughest part was that I couldn't get myself under control. I wasn't acting like myself. Instead, I was calling all the time, texting, and freaking out when I didn't hear back right away or exactly the way that I wanted to. And then I tried all the same stuff you've probably tried, basically in a panic to get her back. And looking back, it was embarrassing, to be honest with you. But then, after using a couple of the same techniques I'm going to share with you, a curious thing happened. One Saturday afternoon, my ex sent me a very flirty text inviting me to come over. Now, I had done a couple of things that I'm going to share with you, but then this kind of took me by surprise. So imagine this. You and your ex have made up. He or she is super stoked to see you again, and you're hanging out again for the first time. How would you describe that feeling? What would it be like for you to have your ex call you up now and invite you to come over? Well, for me, it just felt right. And after we made up, the passion we felt for each other was off the charts. It was like we had a fresh start because we finally got all of the stuff that was in the background out of the way. And I can still remember that feeling of having her in my arms for the first time again. And I want you to have that same feeling too. Here's how you do it. And as you'll see, this is the same as whether you're a guy or a girl, a man or a woman. So first, your ex has to feel comfortable around you again. You know that nervous tension you feel when you call or when you text or when you're having a conversation, the way that you're doubting yourself and trying to do everything right? Well, your ex can feel that too, and it's a real attraction killer. It makes them feel like you don't really have any confidence in yourself and you're looking for it from them. You probably notice how they act standoffish or defensive, right? Well, to fix this, you've got to make them feel no pressure. You've got to let him or her relax so that they don't feel like every conversation is about us. That puts a lot of pressure on them and makes them want to push you away. When you do that, when you relax the pressure, you make them feel like it's safe to open up to you again. The same way that you feel nervous to say anything wrong, that kind of nervousness is contagious, and they feel the same way. So once you stop doing that and make them feel comfortable, they'll want to talk to you again. He or she can look forward to spending time with you because they remember how much fun they used to have, and it's not awkward anymore. Because after a breakup, feelings don't disappear. It's not like your ex just all of a sudden doesn't have any feelings for you anymore. They still do. They still have feelings for you. And the more they feel comfortable around you, instead of fighting about your relationship, the more those feelings of love start to come back in surges. So next, after you get your ex to feel comfortable around you, and you can do this through using a couple techniques, next, your ex has to believe you. And here's what I mean. Right now, the guy you're in love with knows you'd say anything to get him back. And the girl you love knows you'd say anything for her to give you another shot. That's why you feel like nothing you say is connecting. The words are just kind of falling out of your mouth. They're not having the impact that you want. Matter of fact, you could pour your heart out to your ex right now, but it wouldn't make any difference. The words that you're saying lack power or conviction. Maybe you can even tell from your ex's body language that they don't believe you. And look, I know that you're being sincere. I've been where you are. I know that you're saying anything that you can to get them to see how you feel. To understand why it's not working, you've got to see it from your ex's position. You see, most people say the same boring stuff after a breakup. Stuff like, I'll change, or can't we just try again, or but I love you so much. And to your ex, that all sounds manipulative. Basically, you're saying, I'll say or do anything to get you to come back. When you stop saying those things, you open up room for your ex to really believe what you say. And once you do that, then you give them the opportunity to feel for you again. See, all of their defenses are up right now because they just think that you're trying to do anything you can to get back to them. But once you stop doing that and begin saying the things that they really want to hear, then they begin to feel close to you again. And then finally, you have to reignite the attraction. And look, I'm doing these in this order because it's important. It's important that you do these things in this order. If you first focus on attraction, then yeah, you might get back together for a night or maybe for a weekend and maybe hook up, but you won't have any real relationship because the things that are standing in the way haven't been addressed. So first, you've got to make them feel comfortable. Second, you've got to get them to believe you, and then you focus on the attraction. And here's why. The attraction is the easiest part. Obviously, without feeling attraction for you anymore, your relationship has no chance. But when you can make the sparks fly again, you remind your ex of all the good times together. So here's what happens. You're hanging out, you're spending time together, you're laughing, you're holding hands, and that feeling of this just felt right, that's how they feel and begins to grow, and they begin to think of how much they enjoyed being with you. This is, as I said, the easiest part. Because you were once intimate, we know that your ex has attraction for you. It's just that it's buried underneath all the negative stuff. That's why we're getting them to feel comfortable and to believe you first. Once you get that stuff out of the way, the floodgates of passion open, and your time together will be unlike any you've ever had. Because instead of having all of that stuff that you don't talk about standing in the way, finally it's taken care of, and you can be able to love each other with reckless abandon. I get emails all the time from people telling me how emotional and passionate it feels when they get back together, how they feel closer than ever before. So, as simple as those three steps are, making them feel comfortable, making them believe you, and reigniting the attraction, sometimes you need help to know how to get it right, especially because this is such an emotional time. Because you're so apt, you're so likely to do things just as a reaction. And that's why I put together the 3 simple steps into an easy to follow course that I've called the M3 system. The M3 system is the most powerful course available today on how to sneak inside your ex's head and to fill them with overwhelming desire for you. After going through it, not only will you understand your relationship better, but you'll be given real power to be in control of your love life for good. So imagine that. Instead of always feeling like you're waiting for the next shoe to drop, what would it be like to have your ex wanting you, to have them want to be with you? And so that you'll know that the M3 system will work for you, I want you to listen to what other people have to say about the benefits they received. People who were in your same position watching this same video, they chose to get the M3 system, and this is what happened. Carlos says, "Your stuff works so well. Oh my God, your stuff works so well. I haven't had any kind of contact with my ex, and she's already leaving emails, text messages, calls, and all that. She's saying it was a mistake and that we should get back together and telling me how much she misses me." Now, Carlos here is talking about one strategy, which is the no contact strategy, and maybe you've heard about that. But the real power comes in knowing why you do it. And that gives you the reason to be able to do it and allows your ex to begin to feel attraction for you again. Steve says that your program works. "I wanted to let you know that last weekend my fiance who dumped me was back in my arms telling me how much she loved me and missed me and making plans for the future." Now listen, here's a guy who had his life planned out, and because the relationship went south, his whole life was about to change. But because he used the M3 system, because he had the courage to try, he's now able to marry the girl that he fell in love with. And here's the other thing. When you get the M3 system, you do your ex a favor too, because they don't know how to make the relationship work. That's why they broke up with you. But when you do, then you give them the confidence to know that they can make it work with you. And so that you'll know that the M3 system works for women as well, listen to what Nikki says. Nikki says, "Hey, Michael, it's me, Nikki, and I just wanted to let you know that I think you're awesome, you're phenomenal, and so much of what you said was so insightful. You know, it really seems I needed someone that knows what they're talking about, and I think you've honestly changed my love life forever." Look, your relationship can turn around too by using the M3 system to make it turn around and give your ex the confidence to feel like this relationship can work. So here's everything that I'm going to give you with the M3 system, because there's a lot that goes into recreating a relationship. First of all, you're going to get the full-blown M3 video system. In these 3 video modules, you'll discover everything you need to make your ex crave your attention, approval, and company again. You'll discover how to get him or her to forget all the mistakes you made and fall for you again with reckless abandon. I'm going to show you in this module how to use the argument amnesia technique that I developed so that your ex doesn't remember or hold those against you anymore. In part 1, you'll see how to make your ex feel comfortable around you again so they stop ignoring you and can finally hear what you've been trying to tell them. After going through this part, your ex will begin to open up to you again. They'll begin to feel comfortable with you so that they won't feel defensive. And in part 2, you'll hear how to re-attract your ex so he or she feels excitement and yearning at the thought of seeing you again. You'll feel so confident when your ex is the one calling you, the one sending you text messages about how much they can't wait to see you and kissing you the way they used to. Do you remember how they used to kiss you? How it was so passionate? And how just before you break up, it started to be more like, just like a peck? You're going to feel those kisses of passion again. And in part 3, I'll show you how to position yourself so that your ex feels lucky to have you, so that you can hear them tell you how much they love you, and you can be the one in control again. Now look, being in control is all about having control of how you feel. This isn't like you controlling them. This is you being in control so that they want to be with you. So look, that's the M3 system, right? That's the 3 modules, and there's over 20 videos in that. And it's going to help you, just that alone is going to revolutionize the way that you deal with relationships. Not only for this relationship, but for every relationship you have. Even if you don't decide to get back with your ex after going through the M3 system, you'll have that choice. You can choose whether to get back with them or not. Even if you don't, you will have such power and such satisfaction in your relationships going forward, because I'm also going to include all of these things. I'm going to include Apology 101. This is the Argument Amnesia module. In this, I go through and explain in detail how to make this work. I know that you felt like your ex doesn't believe you or forgive you. This video will put an end to that for good. Instead, you'll see how to use an apology to create greater intimacy. See, that's the way apologies should work. When you apologize in a way that makes your ex feel closer to you, it gives you a real advantage. I'm also going to tell you, what about long distance? What if your ex lives far away? How do you get back together when you can't see them? I'll go over this and let you know when it's time to cut your losses. I'm also going to go into the top 3 failures and explain the top 3 reasons that people fail in relationships and how you can avoid them. After seeing this, you'll know the most dangerous landmines to avoid and what to do if you've already blown it. My exclusive slow play strategy. Look, everybody knows that poker players are masters at forcing other people to show their hand first. And I show you how to use one of their tactics to know exactly what your next move should be in any relationship. That way you don't have to worry about being fooled. You can know if someone is really all in or not. I'll even throw in the entire M3 system on audio so that you can listen to it and feel the effects of it while you're in your car, at the gym, or even while you're trying to go off to sleep, so that you can really relax and know that you're going to get back with the person that you want. I'm also going to include the 3 unforgivable mistakes. And I did this because sometimes there are things in a relationship that there's some lines that shouldn't be crossed. But you don't know if that's a deal breaker or not. In this video, I give you the confidence to know that there are some things that are deal breakers. That way, you can walk away without feeling like it's your fault. Sometimes in relationships, people make us feel like it's all our fault. After going through this, you won't feel that again. I'm also going to include iPod therapy, because you know those songs that make you feel like someone's stabbing you repeatedly in the chest with their microphone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use music to make you feel strong and empowered. I remember driving down the road listening to a Kelly Clarkson song after my girlfriend dumped me, and really feeling like she had written the entire song about me and that it was kind of like making fun of me. As silly as that is to say, it's really the way that I felt. And it gave me a real keen insight on how to use music to make you feel empowered. You're going to love it. I'm also going to include a video that I made called Help, I'm Getting Mixed Signals. You know what it's like when the person that you love loves you one minute and couldn't care less the next? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use that so that you can be empowered, so that you can use the actions to make them want you even more. I'm also going to include the Making Up Made Easy ebook, and this is really the outline of what to do and when to do it so that your ex will feel the way he or she did when you first met. It's a no-fluff, straight-talk approach to doing what it takes to make your ex ache with desire for you again. By itself, this book will put you miles ahead of where you are now. I'm also going to include that on audio, and I go into an embarrassing amount of detail in this audio, telling you exactly about my situation. And I did that for a couple reasons. One, because when we go through something so emotional, we do things that we're embarrassed about. And I want you to know that you're not the only one. But when you hear the things that I did, you'll know that what you've done is not anything unusual. And when you do that, then you start to feel confidence again. You see, what happens is we make a mistake and then we beat ourselves up for it, don't we? And we think, oh, we shouldn't have done that. And then we can't even get out of our own way. This whole system, and this audio in particular, helps you to keep from feeling that way so that you can be the confident, radiant self when you're around the person that you like. As I said, I'm including all the embarrassing mistakes that I made so that you won't have to. I'm also going to include the frequently asked questions audio. I did a live recorded call where I fielded a bunch of people's questions, and in that, there were some great insights. You get to hear what other people are struggling with, how they're handling it, the mistakes that they made, and what they could do better. And just by being in the third person, this helps you immensely. You won't believe some of the stories that people have shared. You get a bird's eye view into their struggles and realize, finally, maybe for the first time, that you really are not alone. This audio by itself, because it gives you the insight into other people's lives, has the ability to transform your approach to relationships forever and put you in the driver's seat of your love life again. I'm also going to include something very special. I made a video called Facebook Jiu-Jitsu. And because Facebook has become the way that we show ourselves to each other, it's imperative, it's critical that you know how to show yourself to the world. In this video, I show you how to set up your profile, your pictures, and your comments so that you put your best foot forward, and so that when your ex sees your profile, they feel this desire, this envy. They see you in this light that they can't resist. I'm also going to include an interview that I did with a dear friend of mine named Matt James. And the reason that I'm doing this is because he has a very interesting story. The girl that he was dating broke up with him to get back with her ex-boyfriend. In this, he goes through in detail the struggles that he went through, the fears, the questions about himself, and what he did to finally win her forever. And since they've just celebrated the 3rd wedding anniversary and really have the best relationship I've ever seen, this is something you won't want to miss. I'm also going to include an interview that I did with Michael Fiore. And Michael is the world's leading expert on text message seduction. You're going to learn how to use text messages from the cell phone that you have in your pocket right now to reactivate the spark of romance in your relationship. We did this jam-packed interview. I think it went over an hour. And in it, you're going to learn the things that you can do to make your ex be thinking about you all day without having to run the risk of a rejection. And on this exclusive call, Michael gives away 3 texts that you can send that will make your ex defenseless and only growing in their desire for you without having to worry about being rejected. This interview is a must because we all spend so much time texting, and after listening to it, you'll know how to text the sizzle back into your relationship. And finally, don't you hate the feeling that someone's lying to you? Well, I do too, and that's why I'm going to do something extra special. I created a video called How to Know If You're Being Lied To. It's the lie detector video, and I'm going to throw it in for free. In this 20-minute video, you'll discover the top 3 ways to know for sure if your ex or anyone else is being less than honest with you. You get a crash course on reading body language so that you know and have the upper hand in any kind of communication. After seeing this video, you never have to worry about someone hurting you by lying to your face again. Now look, if you add up all of those modules, that's over $600 in real life value of stuff that I and people that I know have put their blood, sweat, and tears into. But that's a lot for people to pay right now. So instead, I'm going to give you the M3 video system for only $97 and just flat out give you the rest of the videos, audios, tips, and secrets for free. The reason why is because you deserve to be happy with the person you love. So I'm throwing in every tool you need to make it happen. Look, relationships break up because people don't have the courage to try, they don't know what to do, or because it was just bad timing. Now, if it's bad timing, then the only thing you can do is wait. But for most people, relationships can be fixed by just having the courage to try and knowing what to do. It's so often the case that we just stumble through doing the best we can and end up making a mess, right? Well, after the M3 system, you don't ever have to worry about that again. Here's what I want you to do next. Simply click on the link below. You'll have the opportunity to fill out your payment information, and then you'll get instant access to everything I told you about above. You'll get the Making Up Made Easy ebook. You'll get the Making Up Made Easy audio. You'll get the M3 video system, the M1, the M2, the M3, the mindset, method, the moving forward, teaching you how to create, make your ex feel comfortable, make them believe you, and make them feel attracted to you again. You'll also get the Frequently Asked Questions audio. You'll get the Facebook Jiu-Jitsu. You'll get my interview with Matt James, my interview with Michael Fiore on texting, how to know if you're being lied to, the lie detector video, and all of that included with one purchase. So instead of feeling like you have to sneak around and catch your ex in a lie or constantly be paranoid that something's going on behind your back, you'll know instantly when someone's trying to deceive you. You'll get all of these powerful life-transforming secrets for less than what people usually spend on coffee throughout the month. Look, you have the opportunity in this moment to change and transform the way that you have relationships. Now, if you want to continue to have relationships the way that you have, then keep doing it. But if you want to have the relationship that you always wanted, here's your opportunity. More importantly, it costs way less than the cost of your peace of mind, love life, and happiness if you don't do it. Look, we both know that if you go away from this video and don't take any action, well, nothing's going to change. Don't wait until it's too late. Get your copy of the M3 system today so you and your ex can be together again in a few days. And you can feel like you're in control again. Here's the other thing. You're completely safe with your purchase for 2 reasons. First, because your purchase is completely confidential. Your credit card will be billed as clickbank.com, so you don't have to worry about being embarrassed by anybody finding out. So nobody's going to bill you from reunited relationships. And secondly, if you don't like the M3 system for any reason, simply send me an email and you'll get all of your money back within 48 hours. Now, that is a guarantee that I make because I want this to be beneficial for you. I spent time out of my life creating this system so that you could have the effect, so that you could have the benefit. And if it doesn't work for you, well then you don't have to pay me. I want to help you because I created this system after my own breakup, and I know what it's like to want someone so bad and not know how to get them back. I would have given anything to know how to make Jessica love me again when all she was doing was going out with someone else. And listen, I know for you it's not about the money. It's about knowing that the M3 system will work. That's why you're completely protected with your purchase today. I included the money back guarantee because I want you to have the freedom to try it. When you feel like it has to work, there's a lot of pressure. But when you feel like you can try it and have confidence that it will work, then that gives you great success. This really is the safest, most guaranteed way for you to go from how you're feeling now to feeling that surge of excitement when your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend is calling and texting you and looking forward to seeing you again. Imagine what it would be like after using some of the same techniques that I show you in the M3 system and having your ex say, wow, I never thought I'd say this, but I can't wait to see you again. Here's what to do. Click on the link below to get started right now. Put an end to the indecision, the hopelessness, and the overwhelming feeling of rejection. And instead, take a stand for the person you love. Help them to have the relationship that you know that you can have together by taking the action. And when you're together again, you can look back on today as the day that you made it happen. And if you don't, you know what's waiting to keep you company. That same feeling that brought you here. Don't settle. Discover how to get what you want in your relationship. That's what I'm offering you now. Click on the link below so that you never have to feel rejected or go through something that causes this much heart-wrenching pain again. And when you do, you'll instantly feel a surge of confidence just from the power of committing. So often, our indecision is what causes us such pain. Should we, shouldn't we? We don't know. Right now, know that this is what you want. Know that you want to have control of your relationship and control of your love life and want to have your ex eating out of the palm of your hand. You want to have your ex wanting you. You want to feel that same love from them that you feel for them. Click on the link below now and experience the feeling of finally being in control, wanted, and excited again.